Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Cody Tucker Show. As always, I'm your host, Cody Tucker. Been a really busy week, getting another podcast set up. Well, trying to. Came across a couple snags, so it is not coming out as quickly as we expected, but stay tuned for it. It's going to be a good time. That podcast will be called The Double Wide Dogs, which it's actually a podcast that me and a good buddy, Mr. Nate Edelman, started a little while back. We stopped for some reason. Not exactly sure. One of us probably got the clap or something. No telling. And by someone, I mean, yeah. So, well, you roll the dice sometimes. But $20 is $20. Anyways, so that's going to be starting back up with video this time. So, you're welcome. That'll be starting up pretty soon. We already got a couple recorded, and boy, it's a hoot. I'll tell you that. If you enjoy this for some reason, now just imagine there's another person here and think of all the fun that could be had. So be on the lookout for that. Book updates. Book is coming. It's coming. Getting everything situated. Turns out publishing a book is a fucking nightmare. Which, I kind of touched on this last week, but fuck. Yeah. In my mind, I was like, damn, I kind of already have, a second book in mind and maybe even a third. I'll tell you what. After going through this shit, I don't think I'm ever gonna write another book. I may never even fucking read another book. I may burn all the books that I have. Fahrenheit 451. Boy, it is a fucking nightmare trying to get all of that situated. But it is being situated. It's coming. Release date coming soon. Most likely, the book will be available by the beginning of next month. Thinking probably first week in May. That's a tentative release date. It doesn't fucking matter. You'll get it whenever it's out. If you want it. If you don't want it, understandable. So, but I think it's going to be good. I actually do feel very good about it as far as, the book itself. Obviously, if you watch any of the little, history, pop culture reels that I do, that's basically the book. The book is just a fuckload of those. Kind of all bite-sized. A little bit more information in some of them than what I'm able to fit in a minute video. So, because sometimes whenever I'm recording those videos, just a little bit of behind the scenes, I guess, if anyone gives a fuck. Normally I'm cutting out a pretty decent amount because obviously it has to fit under a certain time limit to be a reel. And so there's parts of it where I'm like, God damn, that's a fucking interesting part of this story, but can't fit it in. So yeah, so this book will kind of be taking, it's a couple hundred of those stories, taking them and, adding a little bit more and just, making them in a nice little neat, easily digestible book. It's going to be a great book to read while you're taking a dump. That's the best way I can think of to describe this fucking thing. Each story, roughly the same amount of time it takes to read, happens to also be about the same amount of time it takes a dump, depending on who you are, obviously. Some people are a lot faster. For me, I could probably read fucking War and Peace, Tolstoy, by the time I'm finished. I tell you what, boy, a lot of people are probably going to be tuning out after this, and that's fair. Or you could just skip ahead. You know, I'm not a hairy person. I got a lot of hair up here, obviously. But, you know, from the eyebrows down, I'm pretty much a shorn ape. But there happens to be just a patch of bush, you know, right there in the, you know, like kind of guarding the rear entrance. Exit. Not an entrance. Although, you know, I guess Boy Scouts that doesn't really count. But, you know, it's a real situation back there. So for me, yeah, it's not a quick process. Although I may just have to start braiding it, like real tight braids. You know, kind of like a la Bo Derek, if anyone remembers that name. So yeah, enough of that. You know, I know nobody came here to listen to me talk about my crack hair, but you know, what can you do? I gotta fucking talk about it to someone. So let's just move along. Got a lot to talk about. It's pretty interesting stuff happened this week. So first, we got Coachella, however you want to say it. Whatever's the least douchiest way to say it, which I hear a lot of people say Coachella, so I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably Coachella. That's been going on, and you know, no, I don't give two fucks about these types of festivals. I think festivals I hate them. Hate the idea of just a bunch of people who aren't even fans of like a band going to see the band. It's basically like it turns into like a fucking America's Got Talent, but of like famous bands. Although famous, you could definitely put in fucking parentheses on that one. Air quotes, I mean. Parentheses? Yeah, air quotes. You definitely put that in fucking air quotes because, well, this could be more of a me problem as well. I may just be completely fucking out of touch and don't know what is going on. Because I looked at I do tend to look at the lineups of these festivals. You know, your Coachellas, your Bonnaroos, your ACLs, and just see what the lineup is. Because I remember, like, as a teen, wanting to go, God, you know, I just tweaked something in my fucking... This is getting real bad. Aging. You know, I'm not an older... I'm still a pretty young man. And me just resting my arm here, I'm pretty sure I just fucking, like, severed a nerve in my elbow. That's not good. But anyways, what can you do? So, probably have to get fucking Tommy John. So, there goes my chances of, you know, pitching relief for the Yanks. What was I saying? Oh, yes. So these festivals, looking up the lineups, taking a gander at these festivals, just seeing like who it is, like what all bands are performing. Because as a teen, that's what I was saying. So as a teen, I remember like wanting to go to Austin City Limits so fucking bad because they used to have these like crazy stacked lineups of bands. We were just like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like all these people are going to be there. Now, I mean, in the past, I'd say like almost 10 years, maybe let's say 8 years, I know less and less of who these fucking people are. And now it's at a point where I'm like looking at like at a Coachella lineup, and I'm like, I know maybe 3 or 4 of these fuckers that are performing. And I think it's just me just not giving a fuck about new music, which, I mean, what can you do? It's not good. That's part of the problem. So also part of the problem is this shit that happened. So, because this is kind of like what it all boils down to, is it's a lot of people who aren't even like necessarily like music fans, like fans of music. They just are fans of being able to say that they were at Coachella, to have the Instagram pictures and the stories of all the shit of like, oh, this is me, day 2 of Coachella, you know, and meanwhile they're about half a Four Loko in and about to be, in a real tight spot. But, yeah, I mean, it just looks fucking miserable. And these people, I mean, they just all seem like such douchebags, which granted, I know it's a little bit of a pot kettle situation here. But so this fella, I mean, what's this fella's name? Benson Boone. See, this is how I feel like this is probably a very well-known person. I don't have a clue who this guy is. But apparently he brought out rock legend. So anyways, I'll just read the headline. Rock legend gets underwhelming response to surprise Coachella performance. That rock legend, Queen guitarist Brian May. So now this Benson Boone fella who, now I watched the performance just because I was like, oh, let me see what this is. I don't know if this is like just the way people are now, but I guess it's like the cool thing to not be good at singing. To kind of sound like a really bad American Idol audition. But this fucker can't sing to save his life. And I mean, he's basically like, I'm burnout on concerts in general. Completely burnout. I don't know if I'm ever going to go to another concert. The only person, if I've said this once, I've said it 1,000 times. The only person that I would ever want to go see in concert now is, to hear the sultry singing of one Michael Bolton. And let me tell you something about Michael Bolton. He didn't have to do fucking parkour to put on a good show. Michael Bolton can literally walk out there, sit on a goddamn stool, and sing his heart out and have everybody in tears. Now, that's a rock star. Michael Bolton. Quote me on this. Michael Bolton, greatest American rock star of all time. This fella, it just has to do all this like flippery and trickery, to put on a show. And then he sings and you're like, oh, wow, that's pretty fucking underwhelming. Like, if I just see you do a 12-foot high backflip and then you start singing like super off key and like you sound like somebody at a really you sound like the person who is good at like a weeknight karaoke session. Like you sound like that guy. Like that's what this fucker sounds like. He sounds like somebody who he can put on a performance at karaoke night. And that's about it. But anyways, he's singing Bohemian Rhapsody, which the fucking gumption on this fella to be like, oh, I'm going to sing off. I'm going to pull off of Freddie Mercury, which this guy is clearly just ripping off fucking Freddie Mercury. But for him to, be doing this, and then once it gets to the solo, who gets brought up, from the, little under thing with the smoke, a la like Rey Mysterio, fucking Brian May, which Brian May has to just not be. Like, I'm wondering why he said yes to this. He doesn't need the money. There's no way he needs the money. I mean, maybe he's a fan of this fella. I don't know. But anyways, comes out and no one gave a fuck. And that's the problem. That's the problem with these kinds of festivals. Brian May is a goddamn living legend. And anyone who has any fucking knowledge and appreciation of music knows that is the case. That Brian May is a top tier rock star. And yeah, which granted, what are they supposed to think? Like, what are a bunch of fucking 18-year-old girls gonna do? Like, holy fuck, that's Brian May. Of course no one cared. Of course. Why? Of course, yeah. Of course they don't know who this is. In the same way that I don't know who fucking Benson Boone is. But yeah, I like seeing that shit. It just reminds me why I hate fucking going to concerts. I hate it so much. I hate that I have to pay for parking. Not that I necessarily have to pay for parking. I mean, paying for parking is not the big of a deal. But why does it cost fucking $50 to park somewhere. And then you go park like, because if you're going to like a bigger show, obviously not everybody's fitting into these parking lots. So you end up going to these weird like third party parking lots where you aren't 100% sure that you're even like allowed to be there. Like last time I went to a concert was to see the Rolling Stones, obviously a massive show at the Cotton Bowl. Hell yeah. And I ended up parking so in between a railroad track and what looked like James Earl Jones's yard from The Sandlot. And I was 99% sure that my car was not going to be there when I got out of that concert. I was just like, all right, this is where I'm supposed to park? Sure. And then I had to basically take a fucking, a Hobbit's journey to the fucking stadium. I mean, it took me nearly fucking an hour just to walk all the way to the goddamn Cotton Bowl. Hell yeah. And yeah, I mean, obviously concert was fucking amazing, and then you have another hour long walk back, and then, I ended up driving through a fucking homeless encampment, but that dead-ended? That can't be right. That had a dead end that was the tent community, and driving up to one of those at midnight is not a great feeling. I get it. I'm a big son of a bitch. This is show weight. I can't defend myself. Fuck no. I'm not a conflict type person. I would have no chance. Like I'd be turned into a fucking gimp in that community real quick. So yeah, anyways, So all those things that happen surrounding the concert, and then you're paying like all these fucking Ticketmaster fees, which are a bunch of bullshit. Why is it that, I go on Ticketmaster, let's say, I'm going to go I'm buying a ticket for like a really iconic fucking legendary band, Third Eye Blind. Why is it that ticket went from $100 to $500? Why does that happen? What the fuck did I just pay for? And why is there a processing fee? Like a processing fee for something that's done through like their fucking software. Why? There's nobody working. Like that's not a job. It's not someone's salary that I'm paying towards. Like a processing fee. Who is processing it? There's not somebody there like getting the order in and processing it. Like their system does it. I don't understand that one bit. And then a convenience fee. Well, it's not that fucking convenient for one. And also, what's the other option? Like if there is a less convenient way, and which I don't see how there could be a way any fucking less convenient than that. But if there is a less convenient way and I don't have to pay a convenience fee, I'll do it. I will go the extra, I'll go the scenic route to getting my fucking, 311 ticket, if I don't have to pay that $8 fucking convenience fee. A bunch of horse shit it is. I don't understand. I don't understand a lot of this world. I don't know if I was meant for this world this time. Like, man, I don't know. It's just one of those things. But anyways, best of luck to Benson Boone. I don't know. I mean, the dude's got a package on him, I'll tell you that. Oh my God. Yeah. It was like fucking I was like, I mean, I guess I get the jumpsuit, kind of thing. The little bit of an Evel Knievel Elvis style. Which is, anyways, I mean, this is all coming from somebody that wears a fucking bandana every goddamn day. Like, who am I to judge any of this shit? But fuck it. I'm a human being. Judge whatever I want. Benson Boone sucks. Brian May shouldn't have been doing that. Everybody in that fucking crowd can fucking suck one. Because Brian May is a legend. Benson Boone, couldn't hold Freddie's jock. Although Freddie wouldn't have minded him trying. So, yeah. So that's that. Moving on. Okay. So, this is a good... So, Mickey Rourke, which if you haven't been following the Mickey Rourke Celebrity Big Brother situation, Mickey Rourke exits Celebrity Big Brother UK after more threatening and aggressive language. Now, I don't know what they thought was going to happen. Putting Mickey Rourke, I think he's 72, putting a 72-year-old punch-drunk, wax figure come to life. I don't know what they thought putting that person in a house with a person by the name of JoJo Siwa. I don't know what they thought was going to happen. Like, I don't know if they thought it was going to be some, like, heartwarming, we're so different, yet look at how similar we are. You teach me about your ways of life, and I teach you what it was like to be famous in the 80s. I don't know if they thought that's what was going to happen, but I tell you what, I didn't have to see one episode of this show to know that this was going to go south real fast. And boy, did it. I mean, in record timing, I would say. Mickey Rourke kind of really zoning in on JoJo Siwa being a lesbian was already a sign that they should have been like, oh, we need to cut camera for a couple hours and have a real, like, we need to have a sit down before this gets out of hand. And they didn't do that. They just said, keep it rolling. Let's find out what happens next. And yeah, Mickey Rourke proceeded to use, some language that, I'm certainly not going to say, but that's because I'm on camera. If we were at a Bennigan's or something, might be a different story. But, yeah, he used the F word, and yeah, can't be doing that. Now, granted, in the video that I saw, he's talking about a cigarette. Now, obviously, he's, being a little cheeky on this. But that's plausible deniability as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't matter that a couple minutes, or it doesn't matter that a couple seconds before that they were talking about, scissoring or whatever the fuck they were talking about. Hey, that's their problem for calling cigarettes that word. I think that's on them. I say kick out them. Keep Mickey Rourke. Let Mickey Rourke be in that house all by himself, which I'm sure he's probably used to a similar situation. But my God, I'll tell you what. If you ever find the time, and let's say you just don't have a movie to watch, you want to watch something, watch 9.5 Weeks. Then immediately following that, watch a couple of the clips from this Celebrity Big Brother UK. And you just see what can happen to you if you just don't if you don't take care of yourself. If you wake up one day and say, you know what, I've been in a couple bar fights. I think I'm going to become a professional boxer. If you ever have that idea in your head, like God, I could punch hard as fuck, I think. I think I'm going to fucking, yeah. I think I'm going to get in the ring with a professional boxer and see what happens. Just take a look at Mickey Rourke. Stay gander. say. And, this is your future. This is your brain on drugs. Kind of a situation here. Yeah, like learn from my mistakes. But needless to say, I mean, the whole point of, as far as I was concerned, the whole point of these reality shows, which I am a massive fan of, is to be entertaining. I think Mickey Rourke was pretty fucking entertaining myself. So I'm all in favor of reinstating Mickey back in the house. God. Yeah, it's just it's just a generation gap. What can you do? But anyways, all right. Moving on. Next topic. Okay, so I have been so excited to talk about this. Which who knows how long I'm actually going to even talk about it. But just to even bring it up, because it's one of my favorite things to do is to shit on this human being. Which I know, it's probably not. It's not very Christian of me, but oh well. So, if you're new to all of this, or even if you're not, if you're somehow still listening, then good on you. I couldn't tell you how much I appreciate it. I'm not exactly sure why you're still here, but God bless you for being here. So, in the past, I have quite a few times talked about this incredible feeling of just annoyingness. That's not a word, I don't think. Just overall dislike of this person. And I've shit on this person so many times. And I don't even know if it's like really that justified, because he's never really had any issues, never been in trouble, like as far as I know. There's no like scandals around him. But I just happen to hate LeBron James. Fucking hate him. And not as a person. So I should probably make that clear. Like, I do not hate LeBron James necessarily as a person. I hate him as a public figure. As an athlete, as a, all of that. I am a massive, massive basketball fan. And I blame LeBron James for fucking trying his hardest to ruin the fucking sport. And the NBA is not, and again, I'm probably going to sound like a fucking old man here, but the NBA is just falling to pieces. Like, I still watch it. Playoffs are coming up. I am still excited for the playoffs. But it doesn't have it anymore. Like, it's just not there. The NBA has gone, the NBA's pulled an MLB on us. Like, it's, it's just one of those things. Like, the MLB, like baseball now is, it's the worst thing that a human being can be forced to sit through. Like, I'd rather get a root canal. I'd rather get a double root canal than sit down and watch a baseball game on TV. Now, part of that, I mean, the main reason is because there's no more goddamn steroids in it. I mean, you do what you want with these fucking torpedo bats. Nix the torpedo bats. Bring back the juice. I want people out there who are just so close, so close to being arrested for assault. Like, I want people out there whose forearms are bigger than their waist. Like that's what you need in baseball. You need the Mark McGuires, the Sosas, the Giambis, Clemens, like everybody that A-Rod ratted out. You need those people back. Now, so push MLB aside. The NBA is doing the same kind of thing. And it's, in my mind, it's because of fucking LeBron James. And it's because, whenever like a star of a league becomes like, like the face of that league, the face of that sport, the league, obviously wanting to protect the massive amount of money that comes in, is going to kind of cater to that person. And for all the people who are like, well, fucking Michael Jordan, blah, blah, blah. Yes, the NBA did it to Michael Jordan, 100%. Like, the NBA catered to Michael Jordan and catered, like, the way of playing around Michael Jordan. They've done the same thing with LeBron James. The difference is that LeBron James is a bitch. Michael Jordan wasn't. Michael Jordan, like, go just, it doesn't take a long time on the old YouTube to find videos of Michael Jordan looking like he's ready to fucking murder someone out there. Like, just the intensity, like, Michael Jordan fucking is a scary human being. Like, just is. Like, he's like a shark. Like, there's nothing behind those eyes. Like, it's just fucking kill. LeBron James has just a whiny brat behind his eyes. And it sucks because I fucking love basketball. And I want the NBA to be awesome. Like, but it isn't. It isn't anymore because of this motherfucker. Like I say, the NBA has gotten better at, not calling so much shit that's like clearly flopping. But, and so there isn't as much flopping because obviously like the players are just doing what, like if something's going to get called, like if the refs are calling something a certain way, it's kind of like your role as a player to like take advantage of that. Like it's kind of how it is, how it should be. Like that's, just working with what you got. But now that the refs seem to not do that as much, like call those things that are so obvious, like flopping, there's just less of it. But not with this motherfucker. Like he's still doing it. He is holding on to that shit. I mean, the amount of times that just this season that I've seen LeBron James get like tapped on the shoulder and suddenly it's like his fucking, clavicle exploded. It's just insane to me. Like, it is insane to see like a 40-year-old man like pounding his hands on the ground, crying about something. And, and people are like, obviously, like, it's hard to even talk about any of this shit without doing, like, a Jordan LeBron comparison, which, there has to be some, there's a thing called, like, I think it's called Godwin's Law or Gideon's Law. It's something where if, which I'm fucking butchering this. I don't have to butcher it. I could just fucking look it up. Yeah, so it's Godwin's Law. So it's, as an online discussion grows longer, the probability of a comparison involving Nazis or Hitler approaches 1, meaning it becomes a guarantee. So, like, if you see an internet discussion involving a political leader, I mean, typically this is concerning political leaders, or just politics in general, but it's specifically if it's like an individual person, let's say, I mean, just whoever the president is at that time, if somebody's having a discussion, if people are having a discussion about that president, at some point, he's going to get compared to Hitler. It's just going to happen. And it's happened with, like, every president I can think of. George Bush, Hitler. Obama, socialist, Hitler. Donald Trump, Hitler. Joe Biden, Hitler. Donald Trump, back to being Hitler. It's just one of those things. There should be something like with this, like call it like the 23 rule. If someone is talking into a microphone on camera long enough, they will eventually have a discussion, whether it be to another person or just into the abyss, but we'll have a discussion about who is a better basketball player, LeBron James or Michael Jordan. It's just gonna happen. And so here's mine. So with all these things, with LeBron James just being this like just absolute bitch, and doing all these things, like, you know, flopping, like just fucking crying about every fucking thing. Say what you want about how talented LeBron James is, which he is. Like only a fool would think otherwise. Michael Jordan wasn't doing any of that. I mean, he definitely complained, but there's a difference between like complaining, like arguing your case to a ref, which I think every player does or should do. I mean, if you think, hey, that wasn't a fucking foul, man, fucking argue your case to the ref. Say like, what the fuck are you calling that for? Like, that wasn't a fucking foul. But to just go into this like massive tantrum, like running around, like fucking jumping up and down, like stomping your feet and shit, it's like, that's different. That's not arguing your case. That's being a bitch. Michael Jordan wasn't doing any of that. Kevin Garnett wasn't doing any of that. Detlef Shrimp wasn't doing any of that. I bet you didn't think I was going to say Detlef Shrimp. You know, it's just one of those things. And I mean, fuck it, just to say it, if they were playing in the same league, LeBron James would probably win. Like, if both of them were playing right now, you know, LeBron James probably would have it over Jordan. Like, in a sense. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Who fucking knows? I mean, you'll never know. Like, God, I can't believe I'm even talking about this. Because this whole thing has nothing to do with him playing basketball. I will get to the point. But I don't know. It's a weird thing how, like, once you start talking about these two guys, you just kind of have to, you just have to go through this. So just, you know, bear with me while I get it out of my system, and then we'll move on, I promise. But, you know, you have to compare, fuck me, you have to compare people based on who they were playing at the time, with the technology they had at their time, with the skill level of everyone around them at their time, with the training regimens, with the diet, all these factors. You have to compare, what they were doing at their time. Like, obviously LeBron James is going to be fucking better now. I mean, look at all the things he did. But imagine if Michael Jordan had all those things back in, throughout the 90s. I mean, besides the 2 years where he had to go play baseball, because he was gambling on sports. Allegedly. But, like, imagine that. Like, imagine he had all that. Think about how fucking insanely better Michael Jordan would have been. Like, I mean, he was already the greatest person in the NBA throughout the entire 90s. No questions asked. Impossible to even make a fucking argument for someone else. Like, who are you going to make an argument for? Karl Malone? No. Karl Malone's not an argument. Fucking Isaiah Thomas? No. In the 80s, actually, maybe. Isaiah Thomas might have been better in the 80s than Michael Jordan was. Who had anywhere near the talent Michael Jordan had throughout the 90s? Now, then the problem is, you go into the 2000s, and we're all the way up until now. So in the massive amount of time that LeBron James is playing, which is another part of it, is that LeBron James has done all this over like a 20-year span. Michael Jordan did all of his shit in much less time. Obviously won twice as many championships, right? 6-3. I think that's right. And it's like, I don't think LeBron James was ever the best player in the NBA in his 20 plus year career. I can't think of a single time where he was the best person. Like, early in his career, it was Kobe, without a doubt. It was almost like it transitioned between Kobe. Like, Kobe was always 100% better than LeBron James. And then, like, after Kobe, like, you could, you could make an argument for fucking Dirk for like a year or two, and then going into with like Steph Curry and now like Jokic, like I don't even think he might not even be in like the top 5 players in the NBA throughout like any of his career, except maybe the that Heat team. You could probably make the argument. He might, that would be about the only argument of where he was ever the best player in the NBA, or at least like a top 3 player. Otherwise, no, never was. Okay, fuck. So Michael Jordan's better than LeBron James. That's my take. I should probably put like some sort of disclaimer of like where to skip, like if you don't want to hear any of this argument. All right, that's it. Done, finished. I'm not comparing LeBron James and Michael Jordan ever again. Ever. Oh, Jesus. So, said all that to talk about this. LeBron James is getting made into a Barbie doll. And I tell you what, this is the most LeBron James thing I've ever heard in my life. If somebody told me, hey, they just turned a famous athlete into a Barbie doll, guess which person it was? My brain immediately is going to, I bet it was fucking LeBron James. And I would be saying that halfway joking, but halfway serious. And I'd be right. Because I tell you, I'd say it over any female athlete. Be like, I bet it's that bitch LeBron. I bet it's LeBron James. And yeah. Now granted, I haven't gotten my hands on this thing. I have to buy one. Just, you know what? I guarantee you take the pants off this fucking thing. Smooth as could be, which means it's pretty lifelike. Like, I mean, look at this thing. Look at this. This thing doesn't look anything like LeBron James. Not even close. I mean, the only thing about this fucking doll that is similar to LeBron James is that neither one of them have a set of nuts. That's about it. Oh my God. Which, obviously it doesn't. That's not a fair thing to say, but mostly because if they did put a fucking dick and balls on it, people would probably think it was a fucking Brittany Griner doll. Uh-oh. Yeah. Sorry, Pops. Yeah. It's just, you know what? I said I was not going to make any kind of like, no more LeBron, Michael Jordan. You know what? Say what you want about the whole like comparing LeBron to Jordan, like, who's better for their time or overall or whatever. Michael Jordan would not have allowed this to happen. This cements it to me. Like, you know what? I can name I don't know if there is a player. Like, this is kind of the problem with the NBA now, which I still love basketball so much. Again, still fucking love it. This is the problem, is that they think this kind of shit is, like, all right to do. Could you imagine if back in the day somebody went up to Charles Oakley and asked him, like, hey, can we make a Barbie doll version of you? I mean, you would have had your teeth knocked right into your stomach. Like, there's just no way. Oh, my God. It's just so fucking crazy. Like, no one would have done this. Michael Jordan would not have done this. Kobe, no. Kevin Garnett, no. Vince Carter, no. Detlef Schrempf, no. None of the greats would have allowed this to happen. It is just, yeah. And if you're keeping count, that's 2 Detlef Schrempf mentions. So, and I don't know if it's going to be the last one. I try to keep his name in everyone's memory as much as I can. He was a hero to us, and always will be. Oh, God. All right, moving on. All right, so last one. Last topic. Boy, this is a doozy. So I'm just going to go ahead and read. I'm just going to read the headline, because this might be one of the greatest headlines I've ever heard. Christian pastor prefers frisks from male airport security agents because scanners turn you gay. Now, I am no scientist. I know that might be a shocking statement to hear from me. I don't think there's much proof that those scanners turn you gay. But I will say, I think it might be a little too late for this guy. Yeah. Let me see. So the little sub headline: a Christian podcaster and pastor has said he prefers being patted down by airport security agents than going through body scanners because he thinks they turn people gay. Okay, well, that's the exact fucking thing as the headline. Why would you put 2 headlines? Why would you do that? You don't need to do that. I mean, this is just fucking amazing. I mean, am I crazy here? Like, this guy's definitely gay, right? Like 100%. Like, look at that mustache. The mustache alone is a giveaway. That is a cock broom, if I've ever seen one. I mean, he'd sweep the top of the shaft like it's nobody's business. Yeah, there's like this. The only way that this guy could look gayer is if he was wearing like a fucking Liza Minnelli tour shirt and, you know, giving spirit fingers. Like this. Like, yeah. Is that a thing that people think? Do people think that those scanners turn you gay? How would something, just anything, turn you gay? Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get that, like, that fear, because it seems to be a fear for a lot of people. And it kind of makes me think, maybe, just maybe, you already are. Might be too late. I don't know. Like, I've never been worried about being turned gay. If I was gay, I'd just do it. Fuck it. It'd be so much better than being straight. Fucking hell. You know how much easier it would be? God. I mean, I'm most of the way there. The only thing that's separating me right now from being gay is the penetration. Everything else is already, what difference is there? Like, what the fuck is this guy so worried about? I mean, he'd probably have a great time. Look how happy he looks right there. That is the face of a man who right now is daydreaming about just being oiled up with the fellas, you know, giving a couple backwards piggyback rides. That's it, you know? Like, that's that guy's dream. He should live his dream. Who am I to tell him not to live his dream? And, you know, it doesn't really say that much in the Bible about being gay. They really take that part to heart, don't they? Because it mentions a lot of things you shouldn't do. Boy, do we all do them, you know? Like, it's just in that same list, you know? Man should not lie with another man, whatever it says in Leviticus. I mean, you go through the rest of that part, you know, that whole damn book pretty much is just a bunch of rules to, you know, to mind. Something about, you know, planting crops in other fields and whatnot, which might be, as far as I know, could be a euphemism for butt fucking. Actually, you know, a lot of things in there actually could really just be like different ways to say don't be gay. Like, don't mix different types of clothing. I mean, I don't know what it is. It's been a while since I've done mine. It's been a while since I was at fucking vacation Bible school. So, yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I hope this guy finds happiness, you know. Don't worry about the scanners, bud. You'll be all right. Could you imagine if they actually did, though? Like, imagine a straight woman, goes through one of those scanners. And as soon as she gets out the other end, she is now wearing a pair of fucking Wolverine steel-toed boots and going on fucking Carvana and looking up fucking Subarus. PT Cruisers, you know. Lesmobiles. They might be right. Who knows? Yeah. What if you just go halfway through the skin? All right. All right. Like, what if you and your service animal go through the scanner at the same time? Yeah. All right. I think I've said enough. Probably too much. But that's just how it goes. So, yeah. Thank you, everyone who stuck it out this far. I'm sure it's got to be just fucking no one. Like, there's a solid chance I'm talking to no one. If you're still watching this, just leave a comment. Say, I'm still here, buddy. There can't be anyone watching this right now. Like, I could say whatever I wanted right now. No one would know. Like, I could just scream out just a horrific racial slur. Who'd know? I mean, normally I just say them into my pillow every night whenever I go to sleep. But, like, this time I could do it. I could do it, like, right here, right now. I could just say it. Whatever racial slur you're thinking right now, that's the one. I could do it. I'm going to do it. Here goes nothing.